Gus is the cat at the theater door. His name, as I ought to have told you before, is really Asparagus. But that's such a fuss to pronounce that we usually call him just Gus. His coat's very shabby, he's thin as a rake, and he suffers from palsy that makes his paw shake. Yet he was in his youth quite the smartest of cats, but no longer a terror to mice or to rats. For he isn't the cat that he was in his prime, though his name was quite famous, he says, in his time. And whenever he joins his friends at their club, which takes place at the back of the neighboring pub, he loves to regale them, if someone else pays, with anecdotes drawn from his palmiest days. For he once was a star of the highest degree. He has acted with Irving, he's acted with Tree, and he likes to relate his success on the halls, where the gallery once gave him 7 catcalls. But his greatest creation, as he loves to tell, was Fire for Fiddle, the fiend of the fell.
I have played in my time every possible part, and I used to know 70 speeches by heart. I'd extemporize back chat. I knew how to gag, and I knew how to let the cat out of the bag. I knew how to act with my back and my tail. With an hour of rehearsal, I never could fail. I'd a voice that would soften the hardest of hearts, whether I took the lead or in character parts. I have sat by the bedside of poor little Nell when the curfew was rung, then I swung on the bell. In the pantomime season, I never fell flat, and I once understudied Dick Whittington's cat. But my grandest creation, as history will tell, was Fire for Fiddle, the fiend of the fell.
Then if someone will give him a toothful of gin, he will tell how he once played a part in East Lynne at a Shakespeare performance. He once walked on hat when some actor suggested the need for a cat.
And I say now, these kittens, they do not get trained as we did in the days when Victoria reigned. They never get drilled in a regular troop, and they think they are smart just to jump through a hoop.
And he says as he scratches himself with his claws,
Well, the theater is certainly not what it was. These modern productions are all very well, but there's nothing to equal, from what I hear tell, that moment of mystery when I made history as fire for a fiddle, the fiend of the fell. I once crossed the stage on a telegraph wire to rescue a child when a house was on fire. And I think that I still can, much better than most, produce blood-curdling noises to bring on the ghost. And I once played Growltiger. Could do it again. Could do it again. Could do it again.
He was the roughest cat that ever roamed at large. From Gravesend up to Oxford he pursued his evil aims, rejoicing in his title of the Terror of the Thames. His manner and appearance did not calculate to please. His coat was torn and seedy, it was baggy at the knees.
One ear was somewhat missing, no need to tell you why, and he scowled upon a hostile world from one forbidding eye.
The cottagers of Rotherhithe knew something of his fame. At Hammersmith and Putney people shuddered at his name. They would fortify the hen house, lock up the silly goose. When the rumor ran along the shore,
Growltigers on the loose.
Woe to the weak canary that fluttered from its cage.
woe to the pampered Pekingese that faced Growltiger's rage.
Woe to the bristling bandicoot that lurks on foreign ships.
And woe to any cat with whom Growltiger came to grips. But most to cats of foreign race his hatred had been vowed. To cats of foreign name and race no quarter was allowed. The Persian and the Siamese regarded him with fear, because it was a Siamese that bore his missing ear. Summer night, all nature seemed at play. The tender moon was shining bright, the barge at Molesey lay. All in the balmy moonlight it lay rocking on the tide, and Growltiger was disposed to show his sentimental side.
Mi amore,
sono qui.
Tiger stood alone,
concentrating my attention on the Lady Grittlebone, and my raffish crew were sleeping in their barrels and their bunks.
As the Siamese came creeping in their sampans and their junks.
Growltiger had no eye or ear for aught but Griddlebone.
And the lady seemed enraptured by my manly baritone, disposed to relaxation and awaiting no surprise.
The moonlight shone reflected from 1,000 bright blue eyes. And closer still and closer, the sampan circled round. And yet from all the enemy there was not heard a sound. The foe was armed with toasting forks and cruel carving knives, and the lovers sang their last duet in danger of their lives.
In una tepida notte d'estate, allor che la natura era nel pieno fulgare, fresca argiada, splendeva il chiar di luna, sopra la verdura si poteva vedere il galione che ancorava. Oscillava in silenzio nel vento profumato dalla marea dei navi serenamente guato in quella tepida notte che c'è dunque di mare, sai, tanta poesia. Il pirato diventò sentimentale. Oscillare in silenzio nel vento profumato dalla marea del naviglio serenamente quato, in quella tepida notte, in quella tepida notte, in quella tepida
Then Genghis gave the signal to his fierce Mongolian horde. Abandoning their sampans, the Chinks, they swarmed aboard. Abandoning their sampans, their putaways and junks, they battened down the hatches on the crew within their bunks. Then Griddlebone, she gave a screech, for she was badly scared. I'm sorry to admit it, but she quickly disappeared.
She probably escaped with ease. I'm sure she was not drowned.
But the sailing ring of flashing steel Growltiger did surround.
These modern productions are all very well, but there's nothing to equal from what I hear tell. That moment of mystery when I made history.
Masterful performance.